The mud. Imagine walking down a busy street in the year 1200. The air smells terrible. You look down at your feet. You are sinking into deep, thick, black mud. But this is not just normal dirt from the ground. It is a disgusting mix of garbage and human waste. People threw their trash right out of the window. The law actually allowed this for a very long time. Rain would mix it all together into a toxic soup. If you tripped and fell, you could get a deadly infection. Walking to the market was a dangerous survival game. The bread. In the year 1315, a poor peasant sits at his wooden table. He is starving. His stomach is making loud noises. He takes a big bite of a hard loaf of dark bread. Suddenly, his body starts to shake uncontrollably. He feels a burning pain like fire in his veins. He begins to see strange monsters in the room. The rule of survival forced poor people to eat bad grain. A toxic fungus grew on the rye during wet summers. It caused a terrible condition called St. Anthony's fire. Whole villages went mad just from eating their daily breakfast. The clean. A wealthy king sits on his throne in a grand stone castle. He wears gold rings and beautiful silk clothes. But if you get close, the smell makes you gasp for air. In the year 1400, doctors believed water was the enemy. They thought warm water opened the pores of your skin. They believed deadly diseases would fly right inside you. So the unwritten rule was to avoid bathing completely. People rubbed their skin with dry clothes to clean themselves. Layers of dirt and sweat built up over many years. Even the richest royals smelled like rotting garbage. The animals. In 1457, a crowd gathers in a busy town square. A serious court trial is about to begin. The prisoner stands at the front, wearing human clothes. But the prisoner is not a man. It is a large pink pig. The pig had attacked a child in a local barn. Medieval law treated animals exactly like human citizens. Lawyers argued for hours about the pig's terrible crime. The judge listened carefully and gave a strict verdict. The pig was found guilty and sentenced to hang. Even bugs and rats were dragged to court back then. The fashion. A young nobleman walks into a party in the year 1380. He wants to look cool, so he wears the latest style. His shoes have points that are 2 feet long. He trips over his own feet and falls on the floor. People do not laugh. They look at him with deep respect. A strict rule called the sumptuary law controlled your clothes. The length of your shoe points showed your social rank. Poor peasants could only wear short, normal shoes. Only the super rich could wear absurdly long footwear. People tied the shoe tips to their knees with silver chains. The blood. A man wakes up with a terrible fever in 1350. He goes to see the local doctor for quick help. The doctor smiles and pulls out a sharp silver blade. He tells the patient that his blood is out of balance. He cuts his arm and lets the blood pour into a bowl. The rule of medicine was simple: bleed the sickness out. If the doctor ran out of time, he used hungry leeches. They would stick to your skin and suck your blood for hours. Patients often fainted from the massive loss of fluid. This brutal treatment actually killed millions of weak people. The water. A woman is accused of being a witch in 1250. She screams her innocence, but nobody believes her words. The guards tie her hands and feet with heavy rope. They throw her directly into a deep, cold river. This was the rule of trial by hot or cold water. People believed pure water would reject an evil person. If she floated to the top, she was definitely guilty. Then they would take her out and punish her severely. If she sank to the bottom, she was innocent, but she usually drowned before they could pull her out. The forest. A poor father walks into the woods in 1100. His children are crying at home from intense hunger. He spots a wild deer sleeping under a large tree. He shoots an arrow and brings the animal down. Suddenly, the king's royal guards jump out from the bushes. The strict forest law stated that all deer belonged to the king. Hunting without permission was a massive crime against royalty. The punishment for killing a royal deer was totally brutal. The guards would blind the hunter with hot iron rods. They wanted to ensure he could never aim a bow again. The noise. Imagine a cozy wooden house in 1300. A tired family is sleeping soundly in their beds. Suddenly, a loud bell rings across the dark town. The father jumps up and rushes to the fireplace. He covers the burning logs with a heavy metal lid. This was the curfew rule, enforced by the local government. The word curfew actually means cover the fire tonight. Houses were made of wood and caught fire very easily. If you kept your fire burning late, you were fined heavily. Everyone had to sit in absolute darkness until the morning sun. The wedding. A young peasant couple smiles on their wedding day. They're excited to start their new life together, but a dark shadow hangs over their happy celebration. The local lord enters the village on his white horse. He reminds everyone of an ugly medieval tradition. It was called the rule of the first night. The powerful lord had the right to take the new bride. She had to spend the first night at his grand castle. The poor groom could do nothing to stop this horror. It was the ultimate reminder of who owned the land.